Okay.
Not honey sex. I just
Yay.
I just smack her. Fine then.
He told you about your 1 minute talk.
Oh yes. Okay. I'm going to talk about the talent portion of Junior Miss. This year, since the theme was Broadway, I'm an opera singer, and that's what I sing. I like classical music. And although I do musical theater, well, I told my parents, I'm like, the theme's Broadway, so what should I do for my talent? And of course, they do not listen to classical music. They don't know. And they're like, well, you should do Broadway. You should do Don't Cry for Me, Argentina. And I'm like, I didn't want to because I wanted to show them that I do have a talent in classical, and that's what I want to major in. So there's a big dispute at my family, but I think finally they realized that I'm going to do an aria. So.
40%.
Okay, here's a few. What first influenced you in going into opera as opposed to regular musical theater, vocal performances, and pop performances?
Well, I went to the Pennsylvania Governor's School. I don't know if you've heard of that for the arts. And I always liked musical theater, and it always came easy to me. I tried out, I would get a main part, and it was very easy. So when I went to Governor's School, I wanted to do musical theater, and the teachers were like, you're not singing that. And they gave me a whole bunch of classical music. They gave me French songs, German songs, and so I really started to appreciate opera and realize how much of a challenge it was to sing opera as opposed to Broadway. So the challenge, I guess.
You mentioned as one of your most interesting personalities from the past was Ava Perón, and you also mentioned Evita as one of your, I think there's the most current movie that you've seen. Can you explain why you put those answers down and what exactly interests you in her?
Well, I am a singer, so of course I loved Evita. But I think she was a fascinating woman. I think that being where she was in the beginning, although she wasn't a good woman and she did use her husband to get higher places, she still, when she got there, she made the people love her, and she did a lot of good for the country. So that's why I liked her.
You stated in your application in the area of family structure that people don't keep the family together. I wanted to hear what your suggestions were on how in today's society you could keep parents together and help them, how you think that would help them support the children.
Well, I think keeping parents together is I don't think that people make parents stay together. I think it's who you marry. It's that I think that parents are getting married too early and they don't know. And that's why there's more divorces nowadays than there were back generations ago. I guess that more counseling would help them to stay together.
You had said that we need to find ways to keep families together. That's why I was trying to think if you had ideas on what those ways could be.
Counseling would be the best.
Okay. What would you say to somebody who thought that the Junior Miss program was a beauty pageant?
Oh, I would tell them that it is way more, that they look at our grades, that you have to be academically above everyone. And I think I would just explain the five parts that they look at us on in the interview, and definitely I wouldn't let them think that it was a beauty pageant.
Branching off of that, what would you say then to people who say that any girl who does a Junior Miss pageant is obviously a snob?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I would still, if they didn't understand that it wasn't a beauty pageant, by telling them that you have to be physically fit, you have to be smart, you have to have some sort of talent, then I would let them think what they want to think.
You mentioned as part of the problem facing people your age today that they aren't able to express themselves. Why do you think that, and like, how did you come to that conclusion, and what suggestions would you offer?
Well, how I came up with that answer was doing this application. I would ask my parents, well, I don't know, is this a good answer? Or I would tell them something that really bothered me. I'd come home from school and say a teacher upset me or somebody upset me. I would tell them and they were kind of like, okay, you know, whatever, Patty. Like I didn't feel like they understood what I was saying, and I don't know that if I have trouble expressing myself, telling them how I feel, and I think that that's how I came to this conclusion by writing this paper, and when I would say something, they just disagreed with me.
So do you think that the confusion or is just between generations? Do you think that there's a lack of communication between generations and that there's a large gap between them, or do you feel that even that being able to express yourself with your friends is difficult?
I think it's generation gaps. I mean, I know that the adults were teenagers, that they do remember, but it's still, I think, just between them, with it modernizing, or, like, I just think that generations, it's hard to communicate between generations.
Okay. In a recent issue of Newsweek, they were talking about the discovery of the Hale-Bopp comet. Why do scientists feel this comet is so, or why the discovery of this comet is so important?
I am not up to date on this, I'm sorry.
You said that also that I think it was part to improve your school, like if you're a principal for the day, that you would want to offer more specific courses for specific job areas or majors in college. Do you think that would benefit the kids, and how?
Yes, I think that if they offered something, well, like, I guess we could take opera. If they offered me appreciation for classical music and stuff, or they put on some sort of opera or something, I could understand what I was going to go into, or teach me theory, or these courses aren't offered at my school, and I just think that kids need to know. Like, I know a lot of kids that don't know what they're doing. They're just taking courses, and they're just because they need them, and they don't know what they're going to go into because they're not offered anything.
So do you feel that it's better to have it just to enter college with just a general background education with some idea of where you want to go, or do you think that students should be steered while they're still in high school into a specific field?
I think they should be steered, especially, if they have an idea of what they want to do, then they should need to be offered courses to make sure that this is what they want to do before they get into college, so that they don't end up changing their major or whatever.
Okay, because I know you go to Ambridge, and because I know that you're probably a little bit familiar with OBE, say I'm Governor Rich, argue your point. Do you feel that you, and I think you know the sophomores and below, you do need to do this, do you feel that students need to be exposed to every area that there is, or that they should have more freedom to choose the area in which they think they want to specialize in?
They should be able to choose what they want to specialize in. By high school, most kids know that they want what they want to go into, and if they don't, they know what they don't want to go into. And also, Governor Ridge, I thought that OBE he said that he got rid of it and that we're done with that.
Mm-hmm.
But Ambridge hasn't stopped doing that yet.
Right.
Okay. So is it over?
Yes.
If you were nervous, I never noticed. Honestly, you looked very confident. You spoke confidently.
Okay. Your volume is good, good eye contact, nice smile. I think you should take a moment or two before you answer your
Okay.
questions. I think you should take some time to compose your answer, and I would brush up on current events. You listed Newsweek as one of your 3 magazines, and this is a.
We don't know
Yeah.
it either, but
Did we get
pulled
this
out an
one yet?
article.
Did we get this one yet?
I
Dave
don't
just did.
Dave just got it.
So,
It's March 24th this
Maybe.
year, so maybe
We get
we'll
these in
find-
school, that's why I read this in school.
Okay, so we didn't get it. So, okay.
What,
Okay.
what's your ums too? I know you said a couple times.
Okay.
Or like